What's up, everybody? I'm back with a new movie spoiler review. Perfect time for November theme month, since we're gonna be talking about food, Native American or family related content this month. I want to talk about. This is not no product sponsorship, mind you. I'm just saying that you know because after watching the film in preparation of this review, I just had to buy myself some White Castles because it's been a long time since I had White Castles, and this movie is probably the one of the handful of movies that does product placement so well, so effectively. Every time you watch this film, your brain immediately just because that's a purpose of product placement, your brain immediately wants to gravitate. I want to get this food because it's one of those foods that you probably haven't had in such a long time. Because it's not like McDonald's that you probably have probably more. I want to say frequent like you have every day, but I'm saying like compared to other fast food chains, you probably have that more so. And White Castle is right in that sweet spot of a middle where you barely have it, but when it's, I think it's just like a step above Taco Bell in terms of how often you probably had it in such a long time. Um, so leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys think about Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle, and what's your favorite movie product placement that you ever seen. I think Adam Sandler has done a few good ones and some not so good ones, but I think his Subway stuff in Happy Gilmore was great product placement. Uh, anyway, and this is also, of course, a stoner comedy, but it's one of the best ones. I watch my fair share of stoner comedies, but there's a way to do it right and there's a way to do it wrong. And I think Harold Kumar Go to White House is the way it did it so well. Uh, so this is directed by Danny Liner, who was no longer with us, unfortunately. Uh, it stars John Cho as Harold Lee, Cal Penn as Kumar Patel. Yeah, and this is like a very star-studded cast because you probably only remember Harold and Kumar and Neil Patrick Harris. You tend to forget like almost a lot of people that's in here. Got Paula Garcia as Maria Perez, who becomes a mainstay in the Harold and Kumar series. We got David Krumholtz, David Krumholtz as Seth Goldstein, Eddie K. Thomas as Andy Rosenberg. Both of them are like roommates and neighbors to Harold and Kumar. One second. But did you know that Randy the Freak Show car mechanic is actually uh, being played by Christopher Maloney, SVU Christopher Maloney? Of course, there's Ryan Reynolds as an ER nurse or OR nurse. I'm sorry. Fred Willard as Dr. Willoughby, Dr. Willoughby, the med school dean. Uh, uh, we got the Bobby Lee as Kenneth Park, Malin Ackerman as Leanne, the Freak Show's wife, uh, uh, Gary Anthony Williams as Tariq Jackson, the philosophical black man who's been arrested. Uh, Jamie Kennedy as creepy guy, uncredited. And of course, Neil Patrick Harris. And did Gary Williams lose weight? Uh, anyway, uh, Harold, excuse me, Harold works at this uh, as an investment banker, and is tricked into doing uh, another yuppie guy's work while him and his buddy go out to party for the weekend. So, because fearing of him might getting fired or something like that, he decides like he's going to take up and do this police homework essentially. So, he goes home, and of course Harold is like unless he's smoking weed, he's pretty kind of wound up in knots. He doesn't take risks. He doesn't want to rock the boat. While Kumar is very easygoing, but he doesn't know how to take any responsibility. He doesn't want to grow up. So it's kind of like a buddy cop thing going on. He purposely bungles his interview at the medical school, so he avoid getting accepted, even though he's actually pretty smart. He knows his stuff. Excuse me. Excuse me. One second. Sorry. Still getting over the cold and still got throat still breaking through. Anyway, Harold also notices like the pretty girl that he's infatuated with that lives in the same apartment as him and Kumar, but he's too nervous to actually have a conversation with the girl because he doesn't take risks. So he ends up getting high with his friend, and they end up getting the munchies, and that's where they see the commercial for White Castle, and they decide, okay, let's go, because it's one of those foods that we haven't had in such a long time. So they make their way to where they think the White House is supposed to be, but it turns out it's been 4 years, it's been shut down, and there's after talking to Anthony Anderson, who works at the burger shack that replaced it, he tells them about like how this is talking about great advertising for White Castle of all time. Like no other movie has probably ever done it or ever will do it as good. Where you hear like Anthony Anderson talk about how like the onions like fairy crystals that burst in your mouth every time you bite into them. It makes me want to burn this motherfucker down. It's like oh my god, it's just like a smart writing. It's like, I know people like think this is like a dumb stoner movie, but it's like this is like a good example of great marketing in a film and how to do it right without feeling hokey. Where it's like, no, White Castles mean something to people, more than you probably would, be willing to acknowledge, or you don't even realize because it's such like a everyday thing. Excuse me. But I remember last year there was this particular ice cream bar that some rumor or something was going around. It was like around the holidays or something. I can't remember what it was, but it was some particular ice cream bar that the rumor was. I couldn't even misremember what the item was, but it has to be some kind of frozen treat that was going to be taken off of circulation, and people was losing their freaking minds about it because I guess it's like not taking things for granted, and the company has to make a statement saying like, no, we're not removing it. It's still there for people to buy because it cost. I don't know how the rumor got started, but it's just like, can you imagine? There's so somebody said like, oh, White Castle is being shut down, and people imagine the hysteria globally about White Castle being shut down, because it's just like, no, it's a thing, and it's like, we want it there, even though we're not always gonna be or going to eat there. We want it there as an option. It's a fun memories to that place. Matter of fact, I kid you not, I respect White Castle probably more so than any other fast food place. One reason being is the only restaurant that in every location always looks like it appears to be a White Castle. It's a fun design, unlike other fast food places aside from maybe Wendy's. Look like they, over time the soul got ripped out from it. Where, can you remember how McDonald's was, all the McDonald's buildings, look it up, all the McDonald's buildings and Burger King buildings and like, so things like Pizza Huts, the buildings were initially designed to be fun, inviting, and family oriented. The past 5 to 10 years, they look like very basic bitch stone mason buildings. Not fun at all. Just like, oh, they got so corporate to the point where it's like, yeah, we don't need to try as hard after a point. We got their dollar. I did a review on the founder, the creation of McDonald's and all the other stuff last week, which you can check out on the channel. And I mentioned there how, like, yeah, they got so corporate, it just, like, at the very least, you had all these little fun playrooms, you did all these cool commercials with Ronald McDonald, you had, like, animated films and stuff like that. There was earnestness and people trying to, like, make McDonald's fun. Same thing with like the Burger King Kids Club. When's the last time you see like the Burger King Kids Club while they're trying to get all gentrified? McDonald's kept their standard. They didn't change all that much. They didn't do any stupid gimmicks. They know what they are. Aside from the movie, it's just like, it's a fun building. But can you imagine White Castle stopped giving that luminescent white light with the blue accents and stuff, and looking like an actual castle, and just decided to be like a beige, bland building with just the logo White Castle with no unique design of the words. You're like, what is this? Well, I don't know. It's just like it'd be like that. And the way the movie is making this restaurant turn out to be is just like a purpose. Matter of fact, that is the goal. You are rooting for these people to make it to White Castle because the meaning behind it. Because you want to just sit down, have a meal. That's the purpose of any fast food chain. It's like the purpose is to get like a nice meal. And I know, you shouldn't eat fast food every freaking day. It's a treat, and like any treat, you want to just sit down, have a nice meal with a significant other or being out on a date with somebody that you like, or hang out with a family and just talk crap and just enjoy. It's supposed to be, comfort food. And of course, White Castles, kudos to them, they're like not like any other fast food place, because they're little burgers, sliders. You get it, at a bunch at a decent price. Matter of fact, they don't overcharge you. You get like $1 a box, and you're good. Man, looking at this stuff, it makes me, F it, because I don't want to these things get too cold. So you have to excuse me, because I've been you know, eating a lot of soup and tea in the past few days. So this is a nice change of pace. And a nice little French fry too. Ugh. Excuse me. Sorry. It's not for the burger. It's I can still get it, like stuffy nose. Hold on a second. So, after that rousing speech from Anthony Anderson, excuse me, they decided, okay, we'll make our way to the new location, which is a little further than anticipated, but they're determined to do it. But as they pass it through the Easy Pass location, they, ran out of change. So Kumar decided to just run the thing, and because Harold was so uptight, he freaking out because he been smoking weed. He decides oh, I don't want to get caught with weed on me and give it. It was early 2000s. Weed was still highly illegal if you're caught with it. So he dumped out their last joint and decides, and Kumar decides, okay, we're going to make a short detour to Princeton, because somebody on that campus might be selling weed, and I don't want to be. I still want to be stoned when I get there. When I get to White Castles. Sorry, I don't want to see you want you guys to see my runny nose. Okay. I thought I'd get past all this by the time I do my review today. Anyway, and of course Harold is very hesitant on going because there's this like, I don't know, kind of stalker kind of chick called Cindy Kim who constantly calls Harold because she has like a thing for him and tries to invite him all these East Asian organizations that he doesn't want to be bothered getting himself involved with. And but it's a nice distraction, or he had to run interference for Kumar while he goes on the premises, because Cindy is their access, because they can't just walk up in on a random campus without some type of invitation. And Harold gonna have to take one for the team on this one. So Kumar is paying $80 for some weed from this dork on campus, and Kumar ends up meeting these two hot British chicks and try to score, get him and Harold to score with these chicks. But as him and Harold meet up, running away from like campus security while they try to like toke up a little bit, they run to the ladies' bathroom, hide in one of the stalls, while witnessing those two girls that Kumar met up with earlier come in, and they take the biggest crap, and they making a competition called Battle Shits, and it's like, I was like, F it, he's running. It's like, it was so disgusting. It's not something that guys want to see from women at all. Even though we know you guys do it, it's not something we want to be privy to. Knowing is one thing, witnessing is a whole different situation. There's no way any guy, I don't know, depending on how desperate you are, but it's just like, nah, man, you definitely gonna have to like grab yourself a shower, clean your butthole thoroughly before I even like go anywhere near there. After you lay out this biggest dump of your life and making a game out of it, like, I mean, what did you eat that day? Anyway, so they leave the area. Oh, mind you, along the way they keep bumping into these extreme sports fanatics that just do a bunch of bullies, and everything they gotta say in every sentence is like extreme, and it's like, oh god, it's like, what kind of, who are these guys? It's like, and one of them was like a fat guy that like does pterodactyl noises for some reason. And it's just a bunch of delinquents, anyway. So, Kumar had to stop to take a leak, and it's just funny little antics along the way where, he just trying to pay the bushes, and all of a sudden Jamie Kennedy just shows up, not as Jamie Kennedy, but just Jamie Kennedy in a weird wig, and he just decides to like take a leak so close to him, and clearly he's out of his mind. It's like, did you gotta pee right here? Like, huh? This your bush? Is this your bush? I was like, are you a king of bushes? It was a whole thing. It was like, nice pubes. And it was like, F it, I don't want to get stabbed tonight. I still remember that line after all these years. It's like, look, I don't feel like getting stabbed tonight. It's like, whatever. But then a raccoon hops into the open car door and attacks Harold, which forces Kumar to go to the hospital, which coincidentally is the same hospital that his father, I mean, not coincidental, he knows it's the same hospital uh, that his father's working there. And he gets lectured by him and his brother the fact that he, purposely botched the interview that his father set up for him. That all he had to do was just attend, and he was more than likely to get accepted. But Kumar doesn't want to turn out to be like a stereotype of a Indian guy going to med school, because he clearly grew up as like a Gen X guy, counterculture kind of situation. But he then decides to sneak off his father, lift some cards off his father's personal, his pockets, where he can go to like the room where they keep like the medical marijuana. Even though it turns out they don't keep any there for some reason. But he gets mistaken as his brother, and him and Harold are prepped for the OR in order to remove bullets from a gunshot victim. And to Harold's surprise, he sees Kumar very knowledgeable and knows his stuff in terms of medical care. He swiftly removes the bullets and get this guy prepped for getting sewn up. And then of course Ryan Reynolds get all weird and pervert on us, like it was like sexy. What'd you say? Like, nothing. What are you talking about? Like, moist lips. It's like, but it's like, okay. There's so many weird people out tonight. I don't know. It's the full moon out. I don't know. What else happened? Oh yeah. The car breaks down, and they end up getting picked up by this freak show mechanic who drives them to his like little shack in the woods where his wife is trying to, his hot wife trying to hit on them. Is like, trying to get double teamed by both of them. And then he shows up suggesting a foursome, and it's like, and they run out of there, get in the car and run off. And then they end up picking up a hitchhiker. Turns out to be Neil Patrick Harris, which find out behind the scenes from interviews from him. His agent called him up, literally like, days or a month before shooting, and said like, "Hey, we got this role that's perfectly suited just for you. It's actually an over exaggeration of you, and we need you specifically to be a part of this." So he decides to hop on to this role. Lo and behold, he turns out to be another mainstay in this entire series, like a running gag that Neil Patrick Harris is this crazy dude on this drug kick who's overly sexual and just crazy. It's kind of like with Wayne Brady in the Chappelle Show, where because of this particular role, people got this kind of purview of them now, where it's like, I don't know how you are. I don't know if this is really you in real life. I'm not really effing with you because you might end up getting me killed or something on your little wild benders. I'm pretty sure they're not really like that, but people is gonna just like I don't know. One thing about Wayne Brady, I'm thinking about that Chappelle Show, and the dudes might be freaking crazy behind the scenes. And Neil Patrick Harris might just get you on some kind of wild bender and leave you naked in New Mexico or something. Who knows? And he ends up stealing their car while they try to go to this gas station. And of course, Harold is just fed up, blames everything on Kumar, decides to go to use his payphone to call like a cab home. But then uh, he had to cross the street, but there's no cars going by. But he, got to press the button and change the light to go to give the go ahead to walk. Then all of a sudden, a cop shows up out of nowhere. Of course, he's racist and decides to give him a ticket for jaywalking, which is technically is a thing, but no one really enforces it. Uh, so, well, Harold and Kumar get into it. Harold tried to hit Kumar, but he misses and hits the police officer. He gets arrested. And thanks to this wise black man who tells him that life's too short to let a bunch of idiots, ruin, who you are. The world tends to work itself out, kind of situation. I'm paraphrasing, but it's pretty much telling Harold that he should, kind of loosen up a bit. Life's too short, kind of situation. Then Kumar arranges a phony 911 call, which gets every cop out of the building to go see it. And he John McClanes himself through the ventilation and crashes through the ceiling and helps Harold out. And then all of a sudden the cop shows back up, completely ignoring Harold and Kumar, and thinks the black guy in the cell is escaping. And there's this like a other light-skinned black man who's in his underwear for some reason, tells them like, if I were you, I would go now before they realize. So they go grab their stuff and all the paperwork, so they won't have any records of them anywhere. So they end up coming across a the escape cheetah that's been like all over the news the entire day, and get high, ride it. Whether or not you think it's real is kind of irrelevant. To take them to the White Castle, but it goes in the opposite direction. Then Harold gets hit by like a tree branch and he hallucinates the girl he's infatuated with and getting the girl. Then Kumar does gay stuff in order to wake him up, and it's like, it's kind of ironic given the fact that some time ago Kal Penn comes out as a homosexual, and it's like, okay, a gay joke. Maybe he didn't realize, and I don't know, or just was in the closet. I'm not sure. I'm not sure when he come to that realization, but I don't know. He's one of those very progressive guys nowadays. He was in like was it Clinton or Obama's presidential campaign? I'm pretty sure it was Obama's. He maybe he's not like a crazy leftist person, but it's just like kind of wild to see what a lot of these people were back, not just in the 90s, but the early 2000s, and what they are today is kind of like a crazy turn of events. Maybe that's why he's probably so comfortable doing that crap. But they end up finding like the hot dog shack or something like that, where they see their neighbor roommates who were on their own little journey to find this hot dog place and having like a nice meal together. And Cindy Kim, who had a thing for seemingly for Harold, but ended up in like a relationship with uh uh what's his name? With Goldstein. Because they bumped into them on their way to their respective designations, and they told them about the party at the campus, which I imagine is where they met. And we got a while to see like an alternate viewpoint of Goldstein and his roommate and what kind of journey they've been on just to get to that hot dog shack from their little point of view. I don't know. Maybe it's like a deleted scene or something like that on a DVD or something, or an extended cut or something. I'm not sure. It'd be interesting to see what their point of view to find is, even though it's not a real hot dogs place, but it's kind of like their, you know, little adventure. So they see also those extreme, airheads. Harold decides to take a risk for once, steal their car keys, take that car, and drive it to the location. But they're so close, they're near like a cliffside, and they have like a hang glider on top of their vehicle, which they use to fly off to avoid getting caught by the police, who they think they're after them for stealing the car, but actually it was after the extreme sports nuts, because they had like marijuana on them in their vehicle. So they end up going to get arrested. They end up at the outside the White Castles, and they go in there and order their meal, and come to realize they don't have any money on them, because Kumar spent all $80 in it that he had in his wallet to pay for the weed at the college, and of course Harold's money. Excuse me. Sorry. Whew. So because the cop took all the money, or at least whatever money was in Harold's wallet while he was locked up. So I remember so many people was frustrated in this moment and like, oh God, you didn't have, like, you don't have no credit card or debit card, nothing like that. No. And then all of a sudden, Neil Patrick Harris shows up in clutch. So like, yeah, sorry, I was high off my ass, and I took your card. That was kind of like a dick move, and you know, you did kind of give me a ride, so I want to pay for your meals. Here's $50 for the meal, and $200 for the car. I kind of left love stains in it. You'll see. I don't want to see. So they just sat there in utter bliss and just kind of snacked on some nice, lovely White Castle, and just like in utter ecstasy, like, yeah. Just utter montages, like, mm, 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 mm. Mm. So after having that pile of food, like Scooby and Shaggy level of pile of food, they just had like a realization. I guess that's what White Castle does to you. You get like some kind of revelation where Kumar decides that he actually is going to go to that medical interview, and then he's not going to purposely botch it. He decides to, like, embrace his God-given talent and actually want to, get involved. Not because what his father wanted, but it's something that he wants and he's good at it. Which is a nice little growth and turning point for him. While Harold sees those co-workers of his walking in, clearly they got busted for lying, and decides that even though he technically did finish the work, but it got busted up along this little journey of theirs. But he realized, well, it's like, what you what you did was like a scumbag thing to do. We pull that kind of crap again, I will go to our bosses directly and let them know what you kind of stuff you've been pulling, and that you have this little, like, whatever, STD or whatever like that. So then he makes his way back home and tells the girl that he's into her, and they start dating, but she's on her way to Amsterdam for a trip, and Kumar decides, hey, we should take a trip to Amsterdam. Weed is legal there. And that's where the movie ends. Of course, this leads to the sequel, Escape from Guantanamo Bay, which is not like the best one at all. It's been a long time since I've seen it, but I remember it being terrible. I think a lot of people still hold that in very low regard. But they did make a Christmas one, which I plan on adding to the list for December. But yeah, that was Harold Kumar Go to White Castle. I gotta say, maybe White Castle helped a bit, but I think it's the journey, not the destination kind of situation here, where, because they've been friends for a long time. I'm not sure why they didn't click until now, but maybe the White Castle helped it make it click. But maybe both of their personalities kind of rubbed off on them, where Harold kind of learns to take risk and not be so wound up. And you know, that's what life is about, risk, and everything is uh all these little boxes, and everything's so organized. Life is messy sometimes. uh and he's looking at Kumar standing up to those extreme bullies. uh Probably gave, and that cop gave him like the courage to kind of stand up to those two corporate d-bags, and actually talk to the girl that he's infatuated with. While Kumar learns from Meryl that you know, there's more to life than just getting stoned all day. You actually got to like, you know, have some kind of goals in your life, and like, you know, something that you call your own that you can achieve, and you know, have a career and security, and you gotta be an adult. You gotta grow up. You can't be like those high school, college stoners no more. It was probably fun at the time, but it's not the '90s or the 2000s anymore. It's like, at a certain point you gotta enter the workforce and earn a living and a career that you enjoy. Uh, so I mean, that's just my take on it. But let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment below. When's the last time you actually had some White Castles, and what is the probably like the best product placement in a film that you've seen? Let me know in the comments below. Some might argue the Power Rangers film in 2017 with the Krispy Kreme. Some might argue that's like a good product placement. It is so for me. But then there's the IHOP and Man of Steel. I think that was okay. Not sure how cool IHOP was to watch their establishment get demolished in a Kryptonian fight. But it depends on how you do it. I think White House is probably number one in terms of being the best one to do it. And then, like I said, a lot of Adam Sandler's films have like decent product placements, but I think the Happy Gilmore Subway one is probably like the best one. But let me know what you guys think. I'm going to have my meal, and I might, depending on what's going on tomorrow, I might be filming tomorrow, or it might be rescheduled. We'll see. But I will see you guys soon. Take care, and be well. See you soon.